When I see the feelings, I'm now finished with zeros. Yes, I'm good.
I mean, Joe, let's see. Welcome back. Yeah, yeah, cool. I don't know. I'm banned from. Oh, hold on. I don't know if I'm banned from. I don't see no comments. JJ audits live stream. So yeah, love to talk to that guy. Yeah. He seems angry about joking on it for some reason. I don't know. I don't like it pissed off about. But I mean, a lot of people question joking audits. There are a lot of questions. Not fucking, not rocket science. We have this thing called freedom, and I mean it's not called freedom. It's called like freedom of expression, or like like it's different in England to America, but auditors know this, and not a lot of people actually know this. In fact, we should talk about that more, like the freedoms that you have. Like, people don't understand that you are God in England. If you live in England, you are God. You are God. Well, you are sovereign. You and it's hard to like put a word on it because like people can't really comprehend how important the word is. So like all I can say is you are God. You are God. That's the best way I can explain it to you. And people don't know that. People actually don't even know that. And I struggle to explain it to people. Because they'll never understand. They'll never understand. Well, that's what happens. Yeah. Let's check out Midnight Foot Soldier. Amazing. Nine watching. Right. Right. I'm gonna go in JJ's live stream, but like JJ audits. But he's got one of them names that you just can't search for. Like, you try and search for JJ audit. I'm subscribed to him. J space J Yeah. Audit. No, it don't even come up. He's got no fucking. Like, I'm not surprised I didn't get no traction. His name's JJ. If you put your name as 00, you might get some traction. But like fucking JJ, it's too fucking. It's not catchy. It's not catchy. It's not fucking clever. Like joking audits, it can be spelled about 500 different ways. Joking, Joeking, J capital fucking, like it can be spelled like so many different ways. So what I did is I made a playlist or like a default theme for all my videos, apart from StreamYards, unfortunately. Um, to like spell it everywhere I could think of, joking audits, and you just put in tags, and, like, and people can see you. Uh, JJ audit. Too complicated. It's too complicated. Yeah. I can't actually find it. Like, I've been searching on YouTube. I can't actually find JJ audits. Like, I'm subscribed to you. I'm subscribed to you, but if I type in JJ audit, I just type in JJ. I'm not really bothered about it. But point remains the same. Anyway, let's tell you about my experiences. Joking out at story time. Here we go. Police have gone. The police have gone now. But we've had the police in my house for the last 24 hours. And I don't think they've produced a search warrant. So I expect at any moment Jonathan to come back and he's kicked out. He can't come back here, unfortunately. So he's going to have to spend the night on the street. You know, I don't want it. I didn't want it to have to come up to that. But he punched me in the face. So I'm not really bothered about him anymore. I'm not really bothered about him anymore. Yeah, I tried my best for him, and he just like he can't behave himself. Whether he's done something illegal or not, that's not the point. It's just Jonathan causes problems. I thought I fucking like was a problem magnet, but no, Jonathan, he's another level of problem magnet. I mean, like he just like he did it on purpose, and he does it on purpose. I think it's complicated to say. Like, I'm trying to explain. Right, so he's an immigrant. He's on a work visa, and he's lost his job because of problems. And then like it's like I'll get arrested. I'll fall. Yeah. So, so now he's got to be tried. Like I can't remove him from the country. This is what I think what's happened. I don't actually know. Like, Jonathan just like I'll just do all this shit. I mean, I don't think it's him that's doing this shit. I think it's people. I think people are evil. But you know, the police have got to investigate whether you like it or not. And that's the situation we're in right now. The police are investigating Jonathan. And it's probably going to get released and it's going to be knocked out. And I don't really know what to do. Well, yeah, the decision has already been made. It's already been evicted. It's already been evicted. I think you can only evict on certain days for certain reasons, and I think they qualify. I'm not sure. So, what happens when he gets here is we are council coming and you're being kicked out, right? Tech all this stuff. You can fucking you can style your shit here if you like. You can screw but take all your shit and get the fuck out of the house. That's what's gonna happen. I mean, we can like beat around the bush all trouble, capital B. Why do I see all Lego? Why? Just Lego. Search result. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine. That is what that. Yeah. Uh, I want to see what this is a really we're gonna watch this Graham Hancock argument. Graham Hancock and DJ Beatle. That's what his name is. I'm gonna watch it live on.
I am not a geologist, so I'll go with no. But I've heard from other geologists that it is definitely not man-made. Okay.
Well,
But can I put my can I put my it's so many different pairs of glasses here. It's really crazy. Yes, I just want to say I worked with Dr. Glenn Milne, who's a leading geologist studying marine archaeology. This is the Piri Reis map, and my glasses. Yeah, I'll tell you, old age is a bitch. So it's this map that I'm interested in. It's this large island, and the possibility that that large island was depicted on as it looks during the last ice age. That it is the submerged Bahama Banks, and that running up the middle of it is a depiction of the.
What I say is like this map like depicts like the ice age. And with like well, it's gonna tell you in a second. It's gonna tell you. Like
The so-called Bimini Road. Now I'm showing as it looks today, top left, where the Bimini bottom left, you can see that the Grand Bahama Banks were submerged. But up until 6,900 years ago, they were above water. And 12,400 years ago, they were above water. And I must say that looks very much to me like the island that's depicted on the Piri Reis map. This is Glenn Milne. He worked with me on the inundation maps from my 2002 book, Underworld. I think you have to agree that he's a very major expert in the field. These inundation maps that he has given us are a very accurate representation.
And those original maps, the ancient ones, how old are they?
That's the 1513 Piri Reis map, which was based on more than 20 older source maps. As he tells us on his own handwriting, we only have a fragment of the map. It's full of inaccuracies and problems. But I'm just,
You know what would convince me?
What?
So I used to do a lot of GIS for archaeological projects where I'd take historical maps and I try to line them up with actual terrain like satellite imagery and stuff like that. You should work on geo-rectifying these maps to see how they line up in real space. Because right now what I see, I have to squint to see if it looks right or not. And so I think working with something like a GIS expert to geo-rectify this stuff and show how actually accurate it would be, where you could actually statistically measure that, would make it a lot more convincing in my mind.
No, that's a very good idea, Flint. Thank you.
Can we see images of the Bimini Road itself?
I'll show you a couple of slides. If I can put this up.
Very good idea.
Come on. And that's me diving on the Bimini Road.
You said it.
And so these are arranged in what fashion? I see the small segments of it.
No, there's a huge extensive area, runs for about more than half a mile right off the coast of Bimini, of these blocks. Now, what I want to get to here is the suggestion that this is totally a natural site. You're not familiar at all with the work that's been done on this film?
It's not my expertise, no.
Yeah. Because if you read the literature, you'll find that archaeologists constantly refer to work that was done by Eugene Shin and a couple of other geologists, arguing that A, the Bimini Road is totally natural, and B, that it's pretty young. It's only 3,000 years old or so. But this is an area where there's a real problem, because in the literature on that, archaeologists cite the 1980 and later work of Eugene Shin, which itself cites his 1978 article. But the 1978 article is very hard to find. I had to do a lot of work to get hold of it, and I did. And actually, the 1978 article contradicts almost everything that's said in the 1980 and later articles. The whole authority for
are there any artifacts from the Bimini Road? Because I've excavated road surfaces and I found lots of artifacts.
But let me just play you again, Jamie. I guess I'll have to airdrop this to you. Let me just play you a little clip from Eugene Shin, upon whose authority the Bimini Road is being dismissed as totally natural and very recent. Could we airdrop this, Jamie?
No artifacts.
And then I'd like to show you what a road surface looks like under excavation afterwards, from a project I work on in Romania.
So this is the guy whose work on Bimini is used by archaeology to dismiss it as A, totally natural, and B, totally recent. So we would hope that he would be an honest person, that he wouldn't disguise his own findings from an earlier period of time. How do I play it? Oh, you play it, okay. And this is just a little clip from Eugene Shin.
Yeah, well, I remember when I first met you, I was a young graduate student at Erasmus. And I remember running into you and you were carving this stone statue. And somebody asked you what you're doing with it, and you said you were taking it over to Bahamas and throw it overboard and over to the sheep with fun. So I don't know if you followed up on that.
Well, someone told me they saw it in a magazine somewhere, but I kept waiting for something to really happen.
The guy who's planting artifacts on the Bimini Road is the main authority that is used to dismiss the Bimini Road as a man-made structure.
Did he actually do that, or was he just joking around about it?
Not clear. I think joking about it would be in very bad taste as well.
Yeah.
And especially referring to the sheep who think that it might be.
Well, it's
Actually,
certainly not a scientific approach.
it's not. It's, to my mind, it's not a scientific approach at all. I think this is the moment where I'm going to do my sort of second major presentation.
Do you mind if I quickly show some images of the road surface?
Yeah,
I'm
please.
very happy for you to do so.
Sure. Jamie, do you mind showing the HDMI?
I would like to see better images of Bimini Road. Maybe
Jamie, there's
So-
loads of images of Bimini Road on the net.
In Romania, we did a series of magnetometry surveys. This is called Histria. It's sometimes referred to as the Romanian Pompeii. And so to ground truth our magnetometry survey, we opened up trenches to find these Roman roads. And so what you see when you look at Roman roads is you see pottery in the packing of it, you see animal bones. In fact, they specifically use these complete foot bones from cattle and horses, and amphora toes. Amphora are these kind of ceramic vessels used to transport wine and olive oil and things like that as drainage. And so, as you dig into a road surface, you expect to find this kind of material everywhere. I've excavated roads in Greece, in Italy, and in Romania.
And how old are these roads?
These are from, this is about 2,000 years ago. Yeah. And so this is the kind of packing that you get. You get plentiful artifacts associated with roads all the time. And there's no reason, I could see maybe the animal bones not preserving underwater, but ceramics preserve really well. Those thousands and thousands of shipwrecks that we've excavated, most of what we find is the wood from the ship and then ceramic vessels. And so that survives. Ceramic is virtually indestructible once it's high fired. And so, this is the kind of stuff that we find alongside road surfaces, and we find it everywhere in the world.
And at Bimini, how much searching have they done looking for things like that?
A great deal of work has been done by amateurs who archaeologists have poured really most unpleasant scorn on for several decades. But that work has, in my view, been highly valuable and has been worthwhile doing. I don't claim that Bimini Road is a road. That's just what it's referred to these days. I do claim that it's a very large megalithic structure which was submerged by rising sea levels.
So calling it a road is an unfortunate term. You can't compare it to this road.
We don't know what it is, but it's what it is a series of megalithic blocks laid out side by side.
Let's see
Sometimes
better
on top of
images
other
of it,
megalithic
perhaps
blocks.
something more that gives you the scale of it, because there's a problem
We
with
don't
looking
know
at
what
things
it is.
up close.
Yeah. And can I just give a quick shout out to UT Austin, which directs that project in
There's the
Romania?
Bimini Road.
Yeah, shout
Yeah, Adam
out to UT
Rabinowitz,
Austin.
UT Austin, you guys rock.
Shout out. Okay, so that looks crazy man-made. That last image, though, go back to that last one. That's crazy. I mean, that is, how big are these stones?
They weigh a couple of tons each. They're about 12 feet long on one side by about 15 feet long
They're
on the
fairly
other.
uniform in size.
They're fairly uniform in size. In many cases, and again, the contrary has been claimed, in many cases they are propped up on other blocks underneath them. There are multiple layers. And in many cases, the bedding planes do not, in fact, slope as one would expect if this were natural. They're horizontal. And this is one of the things that's been missed in the geological literature. But
Go to the one in the upper left-hand corner, Jamie, please.
That could be.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for some proof here. It's all.
Right, but
Things look cool, I get that, but it's like a question of how do we tell the difference between man-made and natural? And that's not easy, and I've never really, again, seen architecture like this. We don't see stuff like this on the sites that Graham goes to in Ancient Apocalypse, for example. It doesn't look like this. If it's the same culture at those places, we'd expect to see more sites that look like this.
right, but we're dealing with completely different parts of the world, correct?
Yeah, which is my point that it's not all one culture. Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
So this one's fascinating. Look at that one. That doesn't intrigue you? You don't look at that and go, wow, that really looks man-made?
I think it looks really cool, but again, I've seen a lot of.
But if you knew for sure that was man-made, wouldn't that sink up? Like if you knew for sure, if this had been dated and everyone knew where this came from, and you saw this, and this was from an archaeological site that was well known and established,
You don't
look at
want
that
to
and
see.
say,
You don't
yes.
want to see.
that fits that.
If we
You
had,
wouldn't look at that if
That's
it was
good.
in a well-known archaeological
no.
site and say, oh, this piece is man-made.
That's good.
All the other stuff is clearly natural.
God is good.
I mean, look, to me, I don't see anything that tells me that it's man-made is all I can say.
I screwed that up. What I have to say is,
I get what you're
if
saying.
you looked at this, you wouldn't say this is natural. If you looked at this at a known archaeological site, I just reversed it. Sorry. if you looked at this at a known archaeological site and there was other structures there, and then there was this, you would say this is a part of that. You wouldn't say that this is natural.
Not necessarily. So there's a site that I worked
But
with.
look at this right here.
I get what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying? Like if there was other structures
He's
next
not
to
going to
that
disagree with
that
you.
were clearly man-made, you would
Yeah.
assume, I would think,
No,
that would be man-made as well.
No, that was what I was going to
Ah.
say. Is there's oftentimes a lot of natural stones alongside archaeological stones at sites. There was this one example of a perfectly circular depression at this site in north of Pylos, and so we kept saying to ourselves, it's in the middle of a stone structure, and so we went back and forth on whether it's man-made or not.
He
Circular depression.
refuses to
Geologists showed up. They said, nope, that part's not
dispute
man-made.
you.
If you see what I mean, we listen and collaborate
Is
with
that for
geologists to
himself?
understand how to tell the difference.
Well, we definitely know that happens with sinkholes. There's
Yeah.
a great example of a very circular sinkhole that goes, it was like hundreds of feet deep, right, Jimmy? That one wall of the building. And it looks crazy, like someone took an apple core.
Is that for?
It's
Is that for?
nuts. It can
Yeah,
happen,
it's
you know.
nuts.
It's,
That
yeah.
is nuts.
I don't know.
That's
Is that for?
sort of a different thing than
that
stones
for
being
the-
laid out in a
like-
uniform fashion like that.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't here. What was the name?
That wasn't me.
What are you looking for?
No, he was looking at
Oh,
Pylos,
well.
which is not the site itself. It was an early erratic site.
Erotic
site.
So,
Yes.
since we saw Eugene Shin and the reference from the audience to the sheep who believe in outrageous possibilities like a lost civilization of the Ice Age, I want to address the way that you
Call us over. Like
dealt
and
with the
subscribe.
media
See ya.
about my work.
Alright.
I'm going to show a little PowerPoint presentation here, and we'll talk it through. Well, we know that it's very painful to be burnt at the stake. And heretics were burnt at the stake